Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Eric May, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Argentina Lithium and Energy Corp. Before we introduce our speakers, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box left of the slides. If you are interested in scheduling a meeting with Argentina Lithium and Energy, please click on the Schedule Meetings tab found in the platform navigation bar. You'll be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I am very pleased to welcome Miles Rideout, VP of Exploration, and Nico Kakos, President and CEO of Argentina Lithium and Energy Corp, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol PNXLF and also on the TSXV under the symbol LIT. Welcome, Miles and Nico.
Wonderful. Thank you for that introduction. I'm Nico Kakos. I'm the President and CEO of Argentina Lithium and Energy, and welcome. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to come to our presentation and to listen to it. I assure you that with Argentina Lithium, we're explorers for lithium in Argentina, as our name states, and we have right now assembled some of the most prospective properties within one of the best regions in the world to find and make new lithium discoveries. We'll go through that and I'll be able to demonstrate that we're well underway and we're making a new lithium discovery here, and we have the potential to make multiple lithium discoveries. So in this new hot lithium market, we aim to be there and to make these to provide the lithium that the world will need in this energy transition. Throughout this presentation, I should note that we'll be making some forward-making statements. So I do encourage you to read this carefully. And by the way, this presentation is posted on the company's website for you to download and to peruse at your own leisure. Like I said at the opening, we're operating in one of the best regions in the world to make new lithium discoveries. It's a region here that is known as the Lithium Triangle. The Lithium Triangle is home to more than half of the world's lithium, and the lithium deposits in this area occur in the Salt Lake brines, or salars as they're known in Argentina. And the triangle itself encompasses a bit of southern Bolivia, eastern Chile, and a significant portion of northwestern Argentina. And this in Argentina is where we feel is the best potential to make new discoveries, because not just because it's within the lithium triangle, but because the Argentine mining sector as a whole has been a relative latecomer onto the having private foreign investment. So it's only been being explored for the last 30 years or so, which is not a very long time in mining terms. So there's a lot of new discoveries there waiting to be made, and we are extremely well positioned to make some of these new discoveries. And the reason for that is because our management team is known as the Grosso Group Management. Grosso Group has been active in Argentina for 30 years, actually, to the year this year, headed by Joe Grosso, and who was credited as being one of the early and first pioneers of mining in that country over the last 30 years. And we've had a lot of success in the last 3 decades with other affiliated or associate sister companies that we've had. We've made 4 major discoveries throughout, which is a batting average, I think, well above average than what you normally see with any mining team. Normally one discovery in a lifetime is considered quite significant. So this is really quite good. All of these discoveries in Argentina, and we've been able to successfully take these discoveries from discovery stage early on all the way right up into production. So we do have a long track record in managing the discovery process and the risks and the success in being able to take this all the way up into production. And more specifically, the management team here in Argentina, I'd like to highlight just a couple of people. First, I'd like to highlight Joe Grosso, who's the president and founder of Grosso Group. But he was in 2017 inducted into Argentina's Mining Hall of Fame. He's been Mining Man of the Year in Argentina. It just brings us a tremendous wealth of competitive advantage and vis-a-vis our peers in that country, and a wealth of contacts as well throughout not just government levels, and I mean municipal, provincial, and federal, but also throughout the industry. And this is, I think, what sets us apart from other companies. And of course, you'll be listening in a few minutes here to Miles Rideout. He's our Vice President of Exploration. He's a geophysicist by training, with very extensive experience, especially within the lithium industry. Why lithium? This should be sounding almost rhetorical because I read about lithium and critical energy minerals in the paper almost on a daily basis nowadays. You can't have a transition to a carbon-free world without having a way to store electricity, and lithium is just a key component. And despite the fact that it's lithium as a metal is quite common around the world, to be able to find it in economic deposits is quite the challenge. Except, of course, within the lithium triangle, because they're occurring in brines, it's also one of the lowest cost ways to produce lithium. And by the way, the demand for lithium is expected to continue to increase over the coming decades as electric vehicles continue to come on stream. So to talk about our projects, I'm going to pass over to Miles. Miles?
So the map we're looking at on the
So, well, I guess there's some technical difficulty there, so I'll just step in and talk a little bit about our project overview. We've got 4 projects. 2 of the projects are what we consider to be our flagship projects, and these 4 projects have together just over 64,000 hectares of claims, and that's a substantial size of property. And all of these claims occur in significant salars. Now, the little map there, on the blowout map there to the right, indicates the claims as they're indicated, as they're situated in northwestern Argentina. We've got the Rincon West map, the Rincon West property, and which is adjacent to Rio Tinto, where there's a very large discovery right now. We'll be talking about that. That's one of our flagship projects. And the other one is the Antofalla project, which is a very, very large project that we have in the Antofalla Salar, which is a very long salt lake to the south there. In the Rincon West, where our flagship project that we're currently very active on working on. In here, our property is shown in green. To the left there and to the north, our property package consists of just over 3,700 hectares. And as you can see in this map, in the center there, a very large position by Rio Tinto. Now, Rio Tinto purchased this property here just over a year ago, paying $825 million. Because there's also a very large lithium resource on there, and they're also moving that project towards production right now. And over on the eastern side of this salt lake is Argosy Minerals, and Argosy is an Australian lithium miner. Again, they also have a large resource of just over 240,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent. And they too are moving towards production. We've been more of the latecomers. We've acquired our property here in the last couple of years, and in the last 10 or 11 months, we've actually been drilling on our property. And show you here's what the salar looks like with the drill rig on there. It looks like a big sandy beach. And the first thing before we started drilling, I think they may have fixed the issue here. Is Miles ready to come on?
Okay, if you can hear me okay now. Sorry about that interruption. So what we're looking at now are trans electromagnetic soundings displayed on top of our Rincon property. These are the initial reconnaissance geophysics that we conducted on the project, which demonstrate where the concentrated lithium brines are located. So I've blown up one of these sections on the left side of this figure, and I'll just explain. This is a section view of the ground. The upper black trace is the surface topography of the ground. We're going through white units, which are resistive, either dry or freshwater saturated sediments. And then the deep red colors are electrically conductive concentrated brine aquifers. And then as we pass through those, we can see the underlying bedrock units. So we have that imaging right across the initial Rincon West property block. What we did was outlined that what we interpret as the aquifer as that yellow shaded area. And so if I advance the slide, hang on a second. And so now you can see where the yellow brine aquifer is located and the 9 drill holes that now we have completed. And you can see some of the values there. What we've achieved with this drilling is we've shown that we have the same values, concentrated lithium brines, that Rio Tinto have on the open salar to our east, and also that Argosy Minerals has that Nico explained earlier. So with this drilling, and typically we're drilling to about 300 to 350 meters, and typically we have brine indications on the narrow side, they might be 70 meters thickness, and then on the broader side, they might be 150 meters thickness, and values as high as 395 milligrams per liter lithium. So it's a very favorable situation for us, and this is what we intended to demonstrate with this drilling, that we have the same brines on this property. So now, on this initial drilling, we're moving towards calculating our initial resource. And what we're also going to do is, in the next 30 days or so, we'll be moving the drill on to the eastern property, which is the inverted L figure you can see in this figure. There's no geophysics in that figure, which is why it doesn't have any of the low shading. So we'll be completing geophysics there, and then we've got 5 diamond drill holes scheduled to be completed this year, and we'll be doing a rotary hole and a pump test. Once that work is completed, we'll move that property into resource estimate stage, and we'll be moving our drill rig to the northern part of the same salar on our Paso Vasico property. And I imagine that we'll be completing 8 exploration holes and 1 or 2 pump tests up there at the end of this year and through the first half of next year. So that's the Rincon West project. We think it's highly prospective, and we expect to produce a large resource with similar grades to what our neighbors have to the east. Then just advance the slide. So our second focus property is now about 130 kilometers to the south, so about 70 miles to the south. We're now in the Antofalla Salar, which is on the border between Salta province to the north and Catamarca province to the south. These are both very pro-mining provinces. They have a long history of mining. What you're seeing in this figure is green shaded properties are our properties. There's no drilling on those properties yet, and we expect to initiate drilling in the second half of this year. I'll point out that the black outline that you see on the bottom end of our properties, and it sort of goes off obliquely to the southwest, that is Albemarle Corporation's Antofalla property. Albemarle is the world's second largest lithium producer, and they have a very large mid-grade resource, again with values ranging between about 350 and 400 milligrams per liter. So these are similar values to what we've been demonstrating on Rincon West. What should strike you, though, with this property is it's about our properties in Antofalla are about 3 times larger than our Rincon properties. And so once we get drilling here, I think that this is going to be become our real flagship property. We're going to be carrying forward with exploration and developing both these properties, but I think that they both have excellent potential, but you can't deny that Antofalla has about 3 times larger area. It's more than 10,000 hectares that we have staked here. And so then I'll just point out we have 2 other properties in the pipeline. This is Pocitos, which is southeast of Rincon and northwest of Antofalla. We have a large property package on Pocitos. It's 26,000 hectares, and it represents about 20% of this basin. There's a lot of exploration going on in Pocitos right now. There is not currently a resource calculation on Pocitos. We've left Pocitos on the back burner. We're focused on Rincon and Antofalla for the moment, but I would expect as we get the exploration wrapped up on those lead projects, we'll be able to bring a drill onto Pocitos and start drilling out a resource here. And similarly, we'll go down to the far south. This is, once again in Catamarca. We're southeast of our Antofalla project, and this is Incahuasi, the Incahuasi Basin. We have 4 historic drill holes in Incahuasi. The average grade from our drilling was 109 milligram per liter lithium, which is not bad for a start, but that's a sort of a lower grade value. We'd hope to do better than that. There's a significant potential here. And so this is sort of the same category as Pocitos. Once we've wrapped up our exploration on Rincon and on Antofalla, we'll bring a drill back down to Incahuasi. We'll be completing some high-resolution geophysics, and we'll be drilling out Incahuasi to determine what potential hasn't yet tested. Just while we're looking at this figure, I'll just point out that the black volcano on the far southeast of this figure is right beside Lake Resources' Kachi project. Kachi has been in the news recently because it's the most advanced direct lithium extraction project in Argentina right now, and they're going ahead very strongly with that project. And our Incahuasi project is the closest lithium project beside Kachi. So if our listeners are following the lithium industry, that should provide an orientation for where Incahuasi is. So this is what our work programs look like. So we're focused on Rincon, and we'll continue to drill out these subsequent properties on the Rincon Salar through the end of this year and through the first half of next year. And as we complete each one, we'll be doing a resource estimate. And we expect to begin work in the second half of this year on the Antofalla North property. I didn't mention geophysics, but we'll be leading that with a comprehensive geophysics across all the properties. And then we'll be doing 6 orientation drill holes. And then next year, we'll be doing all the infill drilling where we can define a resource on Antofalla. And then, as I indicated, Pocitos and Incahuasi, they're lower priority projects for us. We have geophysics scheduled there, but we won't be drilling on those properties until we've completed our exploration on Rincon West and Antofalla North. And I'll hand back to Nico.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miles. So here's our capital structure. We've got just over 130 million shares issued and outstanding. Our market cap is about around 34. It ranges between 34 and 40 million dollars Canadian. And ownership structure, I should say, of the company right now, that we have about 35 to 40% of the shares are held by insiders, management, friends, and family. We also have some significant owners, large institutional holders, and family offices. And I'm also pleased to say that we're quite well funded. We were successful in the last quarter of 2022, and so that we did a fundraising. We were able to begin the year with 10 million Canadian in our treasury, which was sufficient for us to carry out all the exploration programs that we had planned for the balance of 2023. And that included, of course, the drilling of Rincon, which is ongoing right now and expected to continue until the end of the year. It includes the resource calculation, which is expected to commence quite soon. And it also includes the drilling of Antofalla North. So lots of work ongoing, lots of news flow coming through. So this is definitely a company, I believe, that once if you're interested in lithium, this is a company to really watch, because as we drill out, we find resources, and as we put the resources into a resource calculation, I expect that we would see a revaluation in the company, and along with valued accordingly with our discoveries. So again, just to summarize, we've got an exceptional portfolio of projects here that have been put together by a very experienced management team, not only experienced in lithium and experienced in mining with over 3 decades, but with our association here with the Grassa Group, one of the most experienced teams of operating in Argentina. We have the expertise to manage a discovery all the way up into production. And I think we're probably operating in one of the world's most prolific lithium sectors. So we definitely are a company to watch. And with that, I would like to see and welcome any questions that might come your way. Let's see. Some of the questions that I see here are, have we been approached by any car companies or OEMs? Well, yes, we're always speaking to many interested parties, in fact. They come from all the way from China, from Korea, from Europe, United States, South American. So actually, in my 30-year career in the mining industry, I've never seen so much interest in a junior company. So I think this is really quite unique. Let's see. Next question here is, does the Argentina government provide support or incentives for the mining industry? I can say that the Argentina government is very supportive of for mining and lithium in particular. We see this support from the federal level. We also see it at the provincial level in the provinces of Catamarca and the provinces of Salta, where we're operating. And in fact, I can say that at a large mining show in Toronto a couple months ago here, the PDAC, there was delegations from Argentina, very large delegations. So definitely they're showing that they've got support for that. When do we expect our first resource estimate? Miles?
We'll be working on that resource calculation going forward now. I would expect it could take as much as 3 months to complete that calculation.
Okay. Let's see. Another question here is, do you expect your capital position, how it aligns with 2023? Well, like I said on my closing there, I think we are fully funded for the year, so we're looking good. I think that this is one of the de-risked aspects of our company, and that with the work that we're carrying out, it's all value added at this point without issuing any more shares. Ownership structure, I've already addressed that. Unless there's any other questions, I'm happy to close it up at this point. Nope. No more questions. So, well, I want to thank everybody for your attention. And by all means, contact information is there if you wish to reach out. We're always happy to engage with shareholders and all interested investors. Thank you.